everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and today I'm going to do a Chatty Get Ready With Me. This is a subscriber request. I'm excited to be able to put out a video that I know you guys want to see. Definitely always leave me your suggestions for video topics. I really like to film what you guys want to see. So this is going to be a Get Ready With Me. I realized when I did my thumbnail that I'm not wearing my wedding rings. I left them next to my toothbrush on my little thing that holds my contacts and my toothbrush. I'm going to be discussing a pretty heavy topic in this video. This is probably not a child appropriate video because I am going to talk about TTC and all the details that go along with that. So I get a little personal in this video. So I want to just give you guys the disclaimer that it is talking about TTC. So if you're looking for a TTC update, this is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, I'm going to get started. We'll see how this goes. I'm really new at this, so we're just gonna experiment. So first off, I go ahead and take off my sleep mask. I actually did a wax job this morning. I'm just using these hair remover strips from Sally Hansen. And so I still have the oil on around my, what would have been my lady stash. And so I just go ahead and wipe my face, get off that sleep mask, and I'll make sure I get that oil off. I'm gonna be looking down. I have a mirror right here. And so this video is going to be, you know, a two-in-one. I'm going to talk about all of my lady issues these last few months as we've been trying to conceive. We just finished up month 6 of that, and that was our second chemical pregnancy, which is a very, very super early miscarriage. Basically, I saw a positive line for 3 days, and then it started fading, and then I ended up having what was a very, very heavy period. And so that was our 6th month. The doctor told me to come back after 6 months if we're not pregnant yet. And so I have an appointment next week. Now I'm just gonna use some moisturizer. This is just a Trader Joe's moisturizer. Oops, I got way too much out. Well, let's fix that. I just need a little bit of that. I ended up squirting out a bunch, so I wiped some of it off. But this has some SPF in it, and the foundation I'm using right now does not. So I go ahead and put on a little SPF. So I was really, really upset about this chemical pregnancy. It's technically considered an early miscarriage because in order to get a positive on a pregnancy test, the fertilized egg has to try to implant. And so I don't know what happened. It probably is just luck of the draw with the genetics, because any egg or sperm that has really serious genetic issues will not develop. It'll just, I think it's called apoptosis, where the egg just won't develop. And so then you have what is a very heavy period in a lot of cases, and mine was really heavy this month. I'm still pretty bummed about that. I'm pretty bummed we have to go in and start the, you know, what is an infertility stuff. I don't really know what to call it, because basically I think she's just gonna run blood work. So now I'm just gonna pull my hair back so that I don't get makeup all over everything. So I've got my moisturizer on. And so of course this video is going to be super TMI. I'm giving you guys the details now about that. So click out of the video now if you don't want to talk about TTC stuff. Oh, this lighting is terrible. Okay, I feel like that white balance isn't so blue. It is super cloudy today and I didn't adjust the white balance, so everything looked really blue and I looked pretty dead. Back to what I was saying, this video is going to be very TMI. I'm not going to get into all the nitty gritty, but chemical pregnancies are no joke. I have had a little over a week of bleeding and it's been pretty heavy. I've had a lot of cramps and it's been really just difficult emotionally too, because for a week or so I was having like really early pregnancy symptoms. So for like a week, my body thought it was pregnant, and then I had a week of the hormones just crashing, and so it's been a roller coaster in that regard. My hormones and emotions have been all over the place. I definitely know it has to do with that. You know, I saw another positive and got really excited, and it's just kind of bumming me out. Next time we see a positive, we're not going to be really excited. This time we were kind of guarded with our feelings because our last positive was another chemical pregnancy, and now that's 2 chemical pregnancies in 6 months. I'm really frustrated because I know we can get pregnant, but for whatever reason, it stops at that. And I'm really just ready to be pregnant. This has been such a long time coming. This is a hard topic to like cut in and out of, like going back to the makeup, but my moisturizer is dry now. I really, really like this Your Skin But Better It Cosmetics CC cream, and I have just like the tiniest little bit left in the tube. I'm going to try to see if I can squeeze some more out of this one. And this one does have SPF, but the one I'm going to use mostly is this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. and it does not have SPF. So I'm gonna have probably mostly this on my face, but I'm gonna try to get a little bit out. I'm gonna end up cutting this and trying to scrape out as much as I can. Let's see, oh, I didn't bring my blush. I didn't bring my foundation brush up, so I will have to go grab that. So because of the chemical pregnancy, my acne is really, really messed up. I do have hormonal acne, but it is just like beyond the normal everyday level. All right, I'm being able to get a little bit out of this tube. So I'm gonna use the makeup and I just kind of swirl it around, and this is gonna have to be a judge-free zone because I don't know what I'm doing. Some people ask for this video to just like know my makeup routine. So I find that it gets streaky around my nose, so I definitely do a lot more of the tapping. And it is hard to talk and do this at the same time. The more I'm dabbling in to the makeup stuff, the more I realize how much goes into the beauty guru stuff. All right, I got a lot out that time. Get this going. The beauty gurus do actually put a lot of effort into their videos. All right, getting some good coverage. This one's really nice because you can build it up. And I'm gonna put concealer under my eyes after I get this. I heard something recently, I've been trying something with the concealer. I've heard that if you put the concealer on first, it's not as heavy duty. And I found that I was brushing some of it off when I was applying my foundation over the concealer. So I do the concealer and then I'll add a little bit more foundation to match it up. Just trying to coat every place. Just need a little bit more, I think. And I'll be pretty good with that. And my foundation. Disclaimer, my foundations do not match my neck, like at all. And that's just part of not buying more stuff. I'm just using what I got. So my face turns a little bit darker than the rest of me. All right, so there's foundation round one. I'm going to go ahead and put on my concealer. I feel like at first when I put that one on, it's really orangey and then it starts drying like more like my skin. But for my concealer, I've just been using this Bye Bye Under Eye. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my sponge there and get it in there. This one I do lots of dabbing. That skin under your eyes is really delicate. I'm trying to gentle. Sometimes I will like smear more if I'm in a really big hurry. I'll just whoosh, just like that. It's probably not the best thing for that skin. Okay, so this one actually blends in really well with my foundation, but I like to go over it just a little bit to make sure. And a lot of times with problem spots, like right now I have like way too much acne going on to cover everything, but for problem spots I like to go over them just a little bit to try to hide them a little bit more. And yeah, since having my second chemical pregnancy here, my acne is just blown up, and it's really been a challenge to not like scratch at it because it's so itchy and feels different. It's really hard not to mess with it. All right, I think that's pretty good for any kind of concealing and covering I'm gonna do. As far as that, I think the under eyes look pretty good. I'm just gonna kind of sweep over it a little bit with the tiniest little bit of foundation there, just to make sure it matches all the way and it's not like bright white under there. And then while I'm waiting for my foundation to like dry all the way and make sure I'm not gonna smear it, I go ahead and work on my lips. So this one is something that's new. Now the sun's coming out and now I look really orange, so I'm gonna adjust it again. Unfortunately, that's gonna be as good as the white balance can get because the clouds are going in and out. So I might look orange, I might look blue, you just never know. Anyway, I kept that Tarte long-lasting matte lipstick because I really wanted to try out actually a Kat Von D one, and they are 20 bucks. And I'm in a no spend year, so I'm like, hey, I've got this one. I'm gonna go ahead and try the one I already have instead of buying another one and giving this one away, even though this isn't the exact color that I was really hoping for, but it's pretty good. I am in love with it. I will probably never go back to like this kind of lipstick. I just don't love it. These are basically like the super cheap drugstore ones from L'Oreal. They work okay, the colors are okay, but this stuff is bomb. It stays on my lips, and that's really what I want. I just want to be able to put it on in the beginning of the day. It mostly lasts through the day. I'll probably speed this part up because I'm not going to talk and do this part. Now the only problem with this is it shows every little imperfection in my lips, and I have got a little bit of like dry skin on there. I got most of the driest patch there. All right, I'm gonna try again. All right, there's the lip, and I really ended up liking this color. I wanted more of like a rosy nude than this one, so the Kat Von D one that I found, I really just loved the color. I watched a bunch of people's swatches on it, and it was beautiful. But this one is pretty good, and it lasts a really long time, and so I'm probably gonna be using this mostly during the day if I need a touch-up, because sometimes like if you eat something oily, it will start rubbing off. I go ahead and just put this over it. This is the Masterpiece L'Oreal one, and then I move on to my blush. And so with this part I will talk. I'm using the Morphe palette that I picked up at Ulta. So I'm just really frustrated and bummed about the whole thing, and in the back of my mind I know that like we have one beautiful healthy child. It will not be the end of the world if, you know, worst case scenario, we just never end up getting pregnant. And that's like where my mind goes anytime something happens, especially like this. That's where my mind goes every month when it's just a negative test, or when I have a positive and then it goes away and I have a chemical pregnancy. My mind just goes there, and I'm like, oh, we're never gonna get pregnant, and we've done this for 6 months, and I know as far as like people's pregnancy journeys, this is nothing. This is totally average right now, 6 months. My doctor says it'll take 6 to 12 months, so, you know, I kind of expected that going into this, and I am a little bit older than last time. I am 31, and so I'm, you know, your fertility can change in your 30s, and I'm on that early end of things. So I got a little bit too dark right there. Let's see. And I just really like blushy cheeks, so I leave it really blushy. I'm at the point now, I'm like, dang it, let's get this done, and it's just taking longer than I want, and going from being incredibly lucky with Olivia, our first pregnancy positive became Olivia, and that was not the case this time. So I've been really, you know, bummed about this. I'm trying not to stress. I have a feeling it will happen over time. Now I'm just going in with my Morphe palette. I'm using the lighter color towards the inside area. I don't know names of any sort of thing, and I totally use my fingers for this. I'm blending. So I'm just at that point now where I'm like, come on, let's get this show on the road. Let's get this done, and we can move on with our lives and not have to do this peeing on strips thing, because I'm doing the ovulation tests now, and I'm also peeing on the pregnancy tests after that, and the 2-week wait, and all this stuff. All this stuff is not fun. So I've got a little towel here that I end up washing at the end of the week, and I just kind of rub all the excess off on that little towel. And so there's the inside corner. If I was going pink, I would use some of these rose goldy ones in here. This one's a little bit of a pink to it, but today I'm going to go more of a bronzy brown look. So I end up really liking this one right here. I don't know the names of it, and I'm not even going to look at the chart, so I'm just showing you on the palette. So this one's like a bronzy color, and I go in over here. Oh, that one's way darker than I wanted it to be. There we go. I blend until I like the darkness, and I go up a little bit, and then I blend in with the lighter color a little bit, and I'm using multiple fingers. So I've got the finger that I put it on with, another finger to take off a little bit of it, and then a finger for blending. So I end up getting all my fingers all messed up. So I'm adding a little bit more brown, move things around a little bit, blend out, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, grabbing some. And so I'm just really thankful that we have Olivia after this, and I really have way more sympathy for people who have to deal with an actual infertility journey. I'm totally not even close to that yet. We're just gonna, I think my doc wants to run some blood work. So we are like just at the very beginning stages of trying to conceive, and I know it's completely normal, but in the thick of it, it is just not the funnest thing to do. So there you go, there's brown. And then I go ahead and wipe all of that off onto my little towel. I kind of clear my fingers. I'll wash my hands after I'm completely done, but I try to wipe off the excess. So our TTC journey actually started in January of last year. I don't know how many of you guys have been with me for a long time, but I did a huge Target haul video and I said, oh, my vitamins are still coming. Well, one of those vitamins was a prenatal vitamin. That month I switched from a regular multivitamin to a prenatal vitamin. So I've been on prenatals for over a year now, and we knew we were going to start trying after our vacation this summer, and I really wanted to try before that. I was really wanting to try before that so that we could surprise our family, since most of our family was going to be there. But we decided to hold off because I was pretty sick with migraines in the first couple of months of Olivia's pregnancy, so we didn't want to mess up the vacation, and so we waited till we got back. But I really was ready last January, so there was 6 months of me mentally being 100% ready for this, and then waiting, and then now we're in 6 months of TTC, and I really want to hear what my doctor has to say. She's gonna probably say the same thing I know in my head, that this is totally normal, everything's okay, but I want to go in, get the blood work, do whatever she says as far as checking on things. But I think it's a really good sign that we've had 2 positives in 6 months, because that means at least the eggs and the sperm are capable of it, and that's a big part of the equation. So we're just gonna kind of hope for the best and keep doing what we're doing and see what the doc has to say. So I'm gonna go in with like a darker color to do like my eyeliner fake line. I'm gonna go in with this one here, this little chocolatey color, and I don't end up needing a whole lot of this, and I go really light because I'm not gonna really blend this in so much. Just giving it a little line, I'll get a little bit more. And so I just have a feeling that, you know, that's just the genetics of it, is having to sometimes get a bad egg or a bad sperm that's not gonna be our future baby. And it's just hard to think about the science and the logic when I just want a baby and I see that positive test and it changes everything, and then it ends up changing nothing. So I'm in that kind of state now where it's like, oh, I see babies and I want one so bad, and it's not ready yet. And that's really all I do. Sometimes I'll just like wipe over my brows if I get a little bit of foundation. I don't have any sort of brow gel or brow fill-ins or anything. I just kind of wipe them to make sure that they're all like tamed down. But that's it, that's my look. I get this done in like 5 minutes in the morning, so it's a really quick, easy, simple process, and I feel like it looks okay. As far as like the technique of it, I'm doing everything wrong. I'm probably using all the wrong tools. I'm not using some of the correct products, but I'm getting it done, and I do really like the end result, so I'm happy with what I've got. I do want to get some sort of setting spray. I do end up rubbing some of it off during the day, just like bumping it on my sleeve or whatever, and I really like it to stay a little bit better and not get on other things. And now ordinarily I would brush and style my hair, but I'm just gonna leave it in a messy bun for the sake of this video. I just feel like with the TTC thing, it's just kind of all consuming, because there's 1 week of your fertile window, 2 weeks of waiting, and then 1 week of period, and that's like your whole month. Your whole month is wrapped up in the TTC stuff, so it's definitely weighing on my mind. At this point, most of it is still fun. The baby making is still fun. I'm definitely still hopeful, but I am at that point now where I'm like, gosh, it's been 6 months, we've been trying forever, and I want this to happen, and every month that goes by is a month further apart that our kids will be. That part's kind of weighing on my mind, because Olivia's already gonna be 4 next month, and that means we're gonna be like 5 years apart, and I really wanted 5 years to be like my upper limit, so I'm really hoping these next couple months we can get this done. I feel like a 6-year age gap is huge compared to like a 3 to 5 age gap, and I'm really kicking myself for us not just trying earlier, because we might have been already done by now, but I didn't want them to be super close in age. I was really nervous about having 2 tiny babies if we, you know, tried earlier on and got pregnant immediately like with Olivia. I think that really was weighing on my mind, this idea that the first moment that we start trying, we might get pregnant. And that experience was totally different than this experience, especially with the 2 chemical pregnancies this round. It's just been a roller coaster. I feel like my hormones have been a little bit weird the couple months after the last one. I'm assuming the same thing will happen this time. So yeah, you saw makeup, you got a little TTC journey. So going through this twice now, I'm just more hesitant about sharing it. Like all along, I was like, we're gonna share this as soon as it happens. And I actually ended up filming a video the 3rd day of seeing a positive test this last time, just like a little bit over a week ago. And then the next day it started getting lighter. I never ended up posting it, obviously. I'm going with whatever timing I get, and I'm just waiting. I'm really trying to be thankful and grateful for the kiddo that I do have, because I know there are so many women who don't even get that much. I still think it's a little too early to panic yet, but I'm one of those type of people that like panics about things. So I'm really trying to realize that, you know, this is totally average. Everything's totally normal. We don't have any reason to believe that we'll never get pregnant. So I'm just trying to hold on to some hope and move forward for next month. But anyway, that is all I have for you guys. I will link to all my products down below. I hope you guys enjoyed being filled in and seeing my little easy makeup look. It's so easy and simple. I think it looks pretty decent for as quick and easy as it is. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.